to another episode of ETV, where I try to bring everything in entertainment. Now with Power Rangers Cosmic Fury wrapping up, it's time to move on into the reboot. Now, this article is taken from the Illuminati, entitled The Power Rangers Reboot, wasting no time after the 2023 WGA strike. And this is an article written by Moriba Forde. And we're going to scroll down here and we're going to take a look at some interesting things that I had seen in this article. Now, we all know that Cosmic Fury was 10 episodes. And in my opinion, that was not enough, but I'll get into that in tomorrow's video. With that, what I was interested in this article is that the reboot is finished here, and we move on into the Entwistle era of Power Rangers. And coming into this is some of the things that were standing out that we might see or have been confirmed in the reboot. And I'm going to read this. Though unconfirmed, all these details are lined up with everything we know thus far. The late Jason David Frank's legacy as Tommy Oliver is pivotal to the reboot, as indicated by Jonathan Entwistle himself. We'll be introducing to the entire team of Rangers in a new universe, but we'll be meeting some familiar faces like Zordon. There will also be a female Red Ranger and LGBTQ plus representation. We have no knowledge of the villains as of this time of writing, but it's unlikely that the original plans for Lord Zed to be the primary antagonist remain intact. Okay. Now, what I have to say about that is, this is an opportunity for them to try something new. Now, I've also heard that Tommy Oliver is going to be the leader. The Green Ranger is going to be the leader, and it's more so going to be focused around him. I think they should try something different. One of the things that interests me about this is that they have an opportunity to do something different, and yet this is supposed to be a reboot, yet they are kind of latching on to nostalgia in order to get this reboot off the ground. And I know a reboot has to be somewhat familiar while upholding some things that made the franchise popular in order for it to work. But this is an opportunity to do something completely different. See, a reboot is like if you had a do-over in your life, like, oh yeah, we can, like, I've known this, but had I known differently, I would have done and tweaked things better, so the outcome would have been better. And that's what a reboot actually does. A reboot allows creators to look at what has transpired in the past, see what worked, and try something different for the things that kind of fell short or were a little bit lackluster. And if they are adhering to this plan that we've heard already through the rumor mill and through what we're reading here on the website of Illuminati, that some of these things, they are already dropping the ball, and they're not progressing forward. Like making Tommy the leader, they've done that before. He wasn't the leader at first because Scott was the leader first, and then Tommy eventually became the leader. But here they have an opportunity to do something different. But I'm not going to be too harsh on it, because what if Tommy starts off as the leader and they do a little bit of switcheroo, like they start off Tommy as the leader and then they make Jason the leader later on? They could do that. Or what they could do is they could have a thing where a couple of Rangers with the stronger personalities would like try to be leader, or maybe even fight over the position, and they would kind of have to work things out in order to get there. But like I said, we shouldn't be too harsh on this because it hasn't even been filmed yet. It'll be interesting to see if they have Tommy start off as the leader, and then they make Jason the leader afterwards. But this is also confirmed that if I read some of this correctly, that the one of the female Rangers is going to be the Red Ranger. So that'd be interesting if Tommy starts off as the leader, and then maybe Kimberly or Trini becomes the leader afterwards. I mean, that's just something to throw out there. All right, it was intended to be a hard reboot, more sophisticated, aimed at an older audience without any dependency on Sentai or established canon. However, development seemed to be going very slowly. I don't think Dino Fury Season 2 or Cosmic Fear would have happened if it had been ready. Okay, well, that's an interesting thought right there. So I'm glad it wasn't ready, because I like Dino Fury Season 3 and I like Cosmic Fury, so I'm glad we did get that. Okay, so let's move on with this. What I can say about this is that they do have an opportunity here to do something completely different, and I hope they do so. Like I said before, try different things at the leader. Some of the things from the 2017 film should make it in there. Or matter of fact, what I would say, some of the ideas that were scrapped from the 2017 film should make it in there. That would make it interesting. And also something that was that kind of piqued my interest, like are they still going to aim it at a little bit of an older crowd? Now, when I say this, I'm thinking more so on the lines of Kamen Rider, because is it going to be more mature? Are we going to see Rangers get hurt, civilian casualties at when the Zords are deployed? And like I said in my previous video, is the government of Earth going to be on high alert when the Power Rangers and Rita Repulsa or Lord Zed or whoever the main antagonist that shows up? Is the government going to be involved in this? And are they going to try to stop the problem at both ends, attacking the villains as well as the heroes, the Power Rangers? Is there going to be a point, just like it was in, for my Kamen Rider fans, is it going to be a point like Kamen Rider Akito, where, the government's going to build their own suit? Are we going to see the same here with Power Rangers? Is the Power Rangers going to, is the government going to try to make their own Power Rangers? That'll be interesting. Now, I'm going to throw a little quick fan theory out there because I don't want to make this video too long. Now, get this. What if they do make it the Power Rangers aimed at a little bit of a older audience, and we see the Power Rangers fighting against, and we'll just throw Lord Zed out there. See the Power Rangers fighting against Lord Zed, and the government is trying to stop the Power Rangers as well as Lord Zed forces, and one of the Rangers is captured, like long term. And since Tommy Oliver is the leader, let's just say that will make it really interesting. What if they capture Tommy Oliver long term, and one of the other Rangers, maybe Jason, is forced to take over, and they even have to help out with Zordon's help, and maybe if Alpha 5 is there as well, and they have to make another Ranger to kind of alleviate some of the pressure, because they don't know if they're going to get Tommy back. So now you have the Green Ranger captured, and it's also been confirmed that there's going to be yellow, and there's going to be blue, and there's going to be red. What if the new Ranger that comes is the Black Ranger, and the Green Ranger is captured, and they're experimenting on Tommy Oliver, and they don't know where he is, and the government is trying to develop their own powers, and then the government kind of taps into the morphing grid and starts developing their own team of Rangers, and then Tommy Oliver is able to break out with the help of the other Rangers, and they all meet together, and they kind of get everything together. And then there's a little bit of jealousy in the group because Tommy has been gone for so long. Of course, we'll see him in episodes, but he's been gone for so long with the Black Rangers there, whoever the Black Ranger is going to be. And he feels like he's been replacing the team, and they just realized, no, we needed extra help since you were captured. And there's friction between Tommy and Jason because Tommy was the leader, but Jason's the leader now because of Tommy's absence because of him being captured by the government. And then not only do they have to deal with the increased volume of monsters from Lord Zed, because now we're going to get a competent Lord Zed that would attack the Rangers on an irregular basis. And what I mean by this is Lord Zed will sit and analyze the strengths and weaknesses of each Ranger and attack them while they're alone, learn their civilian identities, attack them while they're demorphed, and attack frequently to tire them out. And what if they're dealing with this, and then also they have to deal with the government's version of the Rangers and them getting involved? But what if the government's version Rangers are not prepared or maybe not as powerful as the Power Rangers, and then the Power Rangers is forced to save their enemies in the government and while protecting from Lord Zed, and then kind of become fugitives on the run. So they have to leave high school or college and then kind of live at the base full time and then be in the shadows and then, only appearing in public occasionally and then, scouting out things and positions in order to cut Lord Zed off at the pass. Because you have to remember this. Yes, this is a show that was marketed towards children, but you also have to think of an invader when it comes to Lord Zed. An invader invading the alien world. The invader is going to hit all the primary points. The invader is going to cut the power. The invader is going to cut the water. The invader is going to attack the military and civilians to create confusion. What if Lord Zed does that and then turns Angel Grove into like a heaping crater? And then you have like Power Rangers like fighting, like not in a dystopian future, but in an Angel Grove where it's not all sunshine and rainbows and everybody's at the juice bar. It's like how, like I said, like mentioned before, like Kamen Rider Kuga is kind of. So what? And what I mean by that is there'll be frequent Lord Zed attacks, and when that happens, an alarm sounds and everybody shuts down shop and gets into these special bomb shelters in order to wait to wait out the Lord Zed attack. They can really do something special with this, and that's why I'm not going to be too critical on it because of the possibilities. You're not held back by Sentai footage. You're not held back by trying to. And believe me, I love Sentai. I still watch it, but you're not held to taking something that is easily understandable in the Japanese culture and then trying to adapt it and somewhat make it understandable for a Western audience. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You can go every idea that was scrapped with Power Rangers that was never used before, and you can fashion it into some type of story. And since you're starting from the beginning, you can go with all sorts of arcs. You can go with the Mighty Morphin area, and then you can go with the Zeo, and then all the questions that weren't answered with Zeo, you can do with this new, with N Whistles taking over the helm. You can do where the Zeo Rangers powers get stronger over time, and you can have it to the point where they are the more powerful powers and they get stronger over time and they don't just disappear. So basically everything wrong they can do right with this if they do it right. And they can make it to the point where the old fans will like it, but the new fans will like it too, because it's more relatable and it's not campy. And today's young people will be able to relate to it. And yes, it will be geared towards slightly towards a little bit of an older audience, but at the same time, it still can be watched by a younger audience and people can relate to it because it has today's culture and themes and what they're going through now. If I was doing this, I don't know necessarily if making the team high school students would be the best thing. I think maybe making the team either college students or like young adults still like figuring it out. Like maybe they start off as high school students, maybe in their senior year, but maybe by the end of the first season or beginning of second season, they have graduated high school. And now they have to deal with holding down a job, attending a university or a trade school, or helping out in the business while balancing a Ranger life and in what goes into those type of things. And I'm just throwing it out there, but what do you think about this? Tell me. Let's start a conversation in the comments section. What do you think about this reboot? Like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.